B to 5 4 3 on the B to da 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 da. 1 slide to 2 on the B to 4 2 G. So that whole run is and then back to the melody off the 5A. Two times on the 2G, open A, new filler. And you can use whatever fingers, but 6G, 5E, slide it back to 5-4, mute. Back to 6-5. So, and then open A, 3G, 2E, slide a half step sharp, but do all three together. See what I'm doing there? They're all together. 1 slide to 2 on the E, 5 3 on the B. Okay. Now back to the melody again, starting off the 5A. Oops. Okay, we go to the 4 2 on the G that fall in the melody. We're back to open 2 4 A D G. Open A to 2 4 D G, so it's, and then we gotta flip to page 5. Mute. Open A with the 2nd fret G and B. I bar that. So the notes are with the open A over all of it. 4 3, 6 5, 3 2 on the last 2 strings, 5 3. Just pieces of chords. Love that part. Section 5, 122. So this is going to seem familiar because it's just in different keys now. 5A, and then 7 6 7 D G B. Slide it a half step back with a mute, and then come back to the D major 7 chord, hit all 4 strings. So it's okay. 7th fret on the A, G, and B, and like I said, you can experiment with fingering, but this I believe is what he was using. Finger 2 3 4, and we're going to pluck those 3, slide to 8B, and then back to all 7s with a mute. Okay, 4E. This was a tough one for me to get. For some reason it was hard to hear. 3D and 4G right there, and then bar the 5th fret and add the 6G, and then strings 4 6 4 with the mute. So it's, we did a subgroup of that earlier. It might have been on a different fret. 9th fret, I would bar it. The D and the B string is what we need. Hammer to 11 10, and then A string working down, 10 12 11, pluck, hammer to 12G. It's a whole step higher from before. 9 10 A B, 6th fret A G and B, slide to 7 and hit the 7B. So it's, that'll go 3 times, 3rd time no star. In place of that, we've got 6G, 6E, 6G, and 5B. And you experiment with fingering on that. String mute off the A, 7 on the E, G, and B. So we have 9 7G, slide to 6, 7G to 10A, bar the 7th fret D and G, because we're going to now hammer to 9 on the D, mute, and then 9 7 D G. Subgroup that, you got this. Bar the 5th fret, add a 6G in there, and we're going to do the E, G, and B. 5G, slide to 7, 6, hammer 7, rest, and then the 7. So, alright, moving along, section 6 at 1:40. 5A, and then 7-6-5 DGB. So we may as well bar that. We're going to hammer to the 7B with a mute. And then the DGB. This part's cool. I think he came up with this, his own little rendition. Very nice what he does here. So your chords are you'll see, but that's a way to outline it. So we did our open A, and then on the A string down 5 4 5, hit those 3, rest, hit the D, mute. So it's, and then pluck all 3 but add the 5B. So actually that's plucking all 4. That's in there. Open D, it's a passing tone to 3E, and then we're going to go 4D, 4G, and 3B. Slide it a half step back and mute. So it's back to the 3rd fret, hit all 4. Bar the 3rd fret, or go middle 3, and then bar the 3rd fret with the 3rd finger, D, G, and B. He's doing this, middle finger, and then barring with the 1st, the reverse of how I'm feeling it, but your chords are. So think of this. Okay, that goes twice, then section 7, 1:51 in. Just take this chord, it's a G minor 7, and move it back a half step. So it's so we're gonna pluck E, D, G, and B, and then individually arpeggiate D, G, mute, mute. So to an open A, which is a passing tone. Top of page 6. 2A, 2G, 3B. Open D, which is kind of a passing note. To a mute, right back to 2, 2, 3. So, okay, remember this one? 3E, 4G, 4, or 3E, 4D, 4G, 3B. Pluck those 4. Arpeggiate D and G, mute, and then the D, G, and B. The root, and then D, G, and B again. So it's, and then go strings 4, 6, 4, mute. All of that sounds like this. Again. Okay. 4E, middle, 4G, 3rd finger, 3B, index. Quick staccato breaths after that. And then we're going to go 5E, 4G, 3B. Hit those together. Hit the 5E, 4-3, mute, and then bar the 5th fret, add the 6G, and we're going to pluck strings 6, 3, and 2. Again, mute, again, and then move it up a whole step. Actually, no, we're going to go 7E, 6G, 5B. See how we did the one here? Now we're doing it here. So I think really, you know, you're going to have to think of the chords. Right there. And then rest, hit the E, the G and B, mute, and then bar the 7th fret, add the 8G. We're going to pluck E, G, B. It slides off. And then 2E, hammer onto 4, 2A twice to 4E. have section 8 at 202. He's changing keys again. Open E. This one might be a little more comfortable for you. 2D, open G, hammer to 1. So, mute, 1G, open A, E, and then open A with the 1G, hammer into 2, open A, 1G, mute, 2D, to a B chord, 244 A, D, G, and then go 2A, mute, and then 4/4 D, G. So it's open E, and then open A, 2G together, and then the open A, 2D, G, mute, 2D to 1G. Actually, you're going to probably want your middle and index there. Yeah, you will. And that's 2 times, okay? Section 9, 212. Yeah, we have 2 sections left. Open E, and then bar the 4th fret. This is how he does it. This can be done with different fingerings. On the last 3 strings, but go 5B. It's an E major chord played like a D major shape. Mute, and then the last 2 strings. So it's 4G, you're already there. Open A with the 5B and 4E, and hammer onto the 5E. Should hear all 3 notes. Open A, 5/4 BE. So it's with a mute. Open A, 4G, 5B all together, and then love this chord. So we're going from the A string down, 6, 7, 6, 7. I'm using finger 1, 3, 2, 4. And then go 6A, mute, and then all 4. So it's, and then 4th fret E, 5th fret G, 4th fret E. So we're going to bar that. We're going to be string skipping, so we got to hit all 3 of those. 7B, and then 5 pull 4B, back to 5 on the B. So it's this. Let's see, make sure I got this right. Open A, hammer to 4, or 4 hammer to 6 G, mute. So it's open A, 6G, 5B together, and then 7E, just bar it and add the 8G in there. We're going to pluck E, G, and B, slide and mute. Okay, 1 page left, actually 1 section left, 219. Open E, 2D, 4G, 5B. We're going to do thumb on the root and then index, middle, 3rd. Grab them all. Again, no rest, or no pause. It'll be rest, ring, and then 2nd fret D, G, and B. You can use whatever fingers you want. And move to the 4th fret. Mute E and D after that. Then a big mute. Sounds like this. Grab the 4s again, slide them to 3, slide them to 4. Mute, and then the 4s. So that's this. Okay, toughest chord of the bunch, and I've seen jazz players do this, and it's not easy. But there's easier fingering. He used the harder one, but he's probably very used to it. I'm going to show you how he did it. First finger 5E, middle finger 6G, index 4E. Well, it's a bar crossover, so it's crossing 2 frets. So I can do it now. So 5E, 6G, 4E all together. But you know, you could go. There's different ways to do the fingering on that. Back to our 4s on the E, G, B. To to 2nd fret, same strings. Individual mutes, string 6, 4, then a big mute. So it's 2nd fret, slide to 1st, mute, 2nd fret, open E, 2D, open G, hammer to 1. And you'll see repeat from star, no double star, which means you're taking it from here. The big crazy one, which I'm going to do simpler now. Back to this. You'll end off the F sharp minor and strum. Finally, just a simple old E major. Open 2, 2, 1, open. String 6 through 2. And you'll find it helpful if you have an acoustic amp. I almost plugged it in, but through an electric amp, it's going to get some tones I wasn't going to be happy with. But put a little reverb on there, especially if you're applying the slap in there. It works as like a snare drum. Very cool. Yeah, this one was tough, dude, and I love it. Live for this stuff, so I really appreciate it. If you need any more work, let me know. Thanks, man.